It's Grayson McManus here, or some of my friends know me as Shroomy. So what I'm going to be talking about is the Boys' War, which we have been reading for so long, and just everything. So first of all, what basically happened is that underage boys went into war, which they were like 15 or 13, and the only way that they even got in was because of their height. But nowadays it's not anything like that. You need like ID and stuff. But what they mainly did is they had non-attacking jobs. So basically they would drum around with musical instruments, or if their instrument got shot, they could pick up a rifle or something, which is what happened at the Battle of Shiloh with one drummer boy. Just all right. So, where did they sleep? Well, they slept in little tents, kind of like this, but way crummier and dusty, because the military at this time didn't have many resources for them, so they kind of just barely fed them. Like they literally got a cracker and like half of an MRI, I guess, which is really terrible. Because imagine you're just fighting the war and you just basically are starving. That is horrible. And they slept mainly inside of those huts, and there'd be 3 people or more inside of them, and they have only 4 blankets to share, so they'd have to like tuck up with themselves. And if one decided to roll over, they had to say, I'm turning left, or I'm turning right, and everybody had to turn left or right. Okay, now we're at Goop Savings. To talk about their food and their supplies. And what did they eat? They ate crackers, like wheat, bread, everything. And also, where they got it from was there's like these little houses that were off the coast, and sometimes they would rob them. Or they could forage, which would sometimes be illegal, or no, I think it was illegal. Just letting you know. Okay, now you may be thinking, oh, my little boy, and like, oh my goodness, I'm so lost for my family. That's what they all thought. Because imagine, you're just a little boy, and you're out in the war, and you're fighting, and you're also getting shot at, because you're a main leader with the drumming. So they felt really homesick, and by the time it was like about 3 months, they then realized it was gonna be way longer than that. Or no, it was 9 months. They got homesick, they'd feel homesick and sick. They would want to go back. They'd probably feel angry and don't want to listen to any instructions that the drill sergeant says. We're in the horizon now. We'll be talking about what they did during their battles. So mainly what they did is that they were drumming and stuff, and it helped make the soldiers know where to move. They would lead them, and that was really important, because if they weren't there, then the people there wouldn't really know what to do and probably would lose their battles. And now, why were they important? I just explained. They helped them out, guide them through the battlefield. And also, they were very brave. And once in the Battle of Shiloh, a boy whose drum got hit 2 times, and I think a bullet grazed his ear, he then dropped his drums and he picked up a rifle and started shooting. Thinking, oh well, they're in battles and they're probably getting shot, right? They are. So let's go to a new map to check this out. Alright, now we're going into Kaisenat's house. More on what I was talking about. How would they get treated by the doctors, right? Even if you have like a bullet hole through like your hand, and like it's kind of severely cut, they would try to amputate it if like any maggots or possible infections got in. And also, they mainly used it was some type of, it was two things. I think it was something like this and that. But after they ran short of those, they started using alcohol in different types of beverages. Mainly alcohol and stuff. Now, these doctors were not as good as you think, because mainly whenever they were described in their books or like journals, they said that they were not good and they would they would like rarely ever save a patient, which is very concerning because they're doctors, mate. They're supposed to be healing. Now you may be thinking, why would they ever join the war? Well, I wouldn't, because if I was living peacefully on a farm like how they were just tired of the boring farm work and thought this was going to be a good adventure for them. It was not good at all. So they thought this was going to be a fun adventure, right? But then they got dragged into war, which Abraham Lincoln said that it would only last for 9 months, but it lasted for 3. And they just thought this was a cool adventure, and mainly the reason why they even joined is because they were trying to get a break from the wild life, and it was like, ooh, I'm gonna get to shoot some guns and play some drums. And that's everything you need to know about the Boys' War. I may have skipped over a couple things, but that's okay. Bye-bye, everybody. And look at this.